I'm too nice.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm too nice.
That's what they say.
About me?
Yeah. Everyone says that about you, Mr. Brown. You're the nice man.
The nice man.
Mr. Nice Man. Okay. All right, shall we?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fifth Period, the film podcast hosted by two media teachers, where today we are going full Looney Tunes. So get those merry melodies playing, put on your silliest voices, and get ready for a whole lot of violence without any of those messy consequences. My name is Mr. Brown, and with me as always is...
Mr. Boylan. We are back in action for one more time this term, tackling a film that has been on our dockets, I think, probably since... I don't know, halfway or late through last year when I sort of brought it to your attention.
Yeah, watched it for the first time last year and thoroughly enjoyed it. And since then, we've been really keen to get it back on. And it was a last-minute Cinderella story, if you will.
It really was. Going into the day thinking we were watching Mamma Mia and then Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. But Brendan Fraser and the Blue Monkey pipped him at the post.
Just some of the many exciting things that happen at a standard film club.
Watching a poll on Google Classroom.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! What did you say?
Down.
Yo!
Crank that soldier boy. In addition to our main discussion of Looney Tunes back in action today, we will also be chatting about some tantalizing trailers and playing a Looney Tunes themed movie mashups. So if you want to skip ahead to any of that, I will leave time codes in the description below.
Hey, it's Julian. Today we're talking about Looney Tunes back in action.
Big thank you to Julian for his intro today. It's a family event with his sister coming in to do the intro last week.
True.
I hadn't realized that when we first got him up. I've taught Julian for the last 3 years, but unfortunately don't have him for class this year. So
Damn.
I am really glad we still get to see him at film club. Like, he's a super lovely student to have around. He always kind of steps in when people need him, whether it be for music ensembles or
for doing the intro to the podcast.
Exactly right. So we were a little unorganized with having someone lined up for this week. So we said, come on, Julian, jump in. He was a bit hesitant because he'd done one quite recently at the end of last year.
Yes.
But being that kind of person that he is and always wanting to help out where he can, whether it be with other students or with teachers like us, he jumped in and eventually did stop resisting.
Eventually, he was like, okay, I'll stay. That's fine. But no, it just shows the character of the man. So
absolutely.
You did very well. Thanks very much, Julian. Really appreciate you.
Thanks heaps, Jules. All right, moving on. Looney Tunes back in action.
Yeah. I got stuck on a nice little rabbit hole or a Bugs Bunny hole.
Your Joe Dante rabbit hole?
Like a little bit, yeah. It was quite interesting sort of reading about and watching some information about this film. Obviously, it came out when we were both quite young. At a time where like Looney Tunes was sort of a thing, but not as much of a thing. Felt like it was on the way out probably, the peak of Looney Tunes mania around 2003. But yeah, it was the second Looney Tunes film after Space Jam had come out 7 years prior.
Yeah, so I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah.
As a kid, watched Space Jam so much, and this is so much better.
It really is. WB always wanted to do a sequel to Space Jam, and it was going to be Spy Jam with Jackie Chan.
I mean, this in itself is a spy jam.
There's spies and they get into a jam, so play on. And we do get a nice bit of a little MJ cameo with like archival footage at the end there.
Yes, and I think it's a little bit of a dig. It's something in regards to it not being great.
And Joe Dante didn't like Space Jam at all. The name of the project basically around the studio was Anti-Space Jam because he really did not want to make it. So that was always like a little bit interesting. I think the movie did not really end up being the movie that Dante wanted to make. Obviously, this film fits perfectly for his directional style. I mean, like we look at, things like Gremlins and Small Soldiers and stuff like that, which
I added Small Soldiers to our list of films to do after I watched this. Good. I love that film.
Those films do feel like zany, creature-based theme park rides of a movie. So it made sense that Joe Dante was going to do this, but apparently the creative control wasn't really his throughout the project. So what he wanted versus what was released was a little bit different.
Yeah, right. So we kick things off with Rabbit Season, Duck Season, a sketch that has actually appeared in Looney Tunes cartoons. A lot of references in this are kind of like Looney Tunes' greatest hits,
Yep.
which makes sense because people liked these characters because of their familiar catchphrases and the iconic things that would happen week after week after week with them. So it makes sense to include so many nods to their actual television appearances in this film. It's just like in a film that's already layered with so many other film references, why not also jam-pack Looney Tunes references as well?
Yeah, it is very much a love letter to the Looney Tunes, the Merry Melodies, and that whole universe that's really what Joe Dante wanted to do, and it starts off really well. But yeah, it sort of really reiterates how much punishment Daffy cops getting blasted all the time.
Over and over again. I love all the different ways he does it with like the Matador, and it's great.
It's good fun. The animation, I reckon, looks pretty good.
It does, yeah.
A different looking sort of Daffy Duck, obviously having a bit of a board meeting with the brothers Warner, and
we get this sort of Who Framed Roger Rabbit blend of live action and cartoon animation as well.
Yep.
The Warner's brother, or the brother Warners, literal brothers, the twins from Terminator 2, and I think they were also in Gremlins 2 as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Joe Dante references.
He knows what he wants.
So Daffy wants Bugs to step aside so he can be the star of the upcoming film. And Bugs originally is like, yeah, that's fine with me. I'll go visit my 542 nieces and nephews. Bit of a gag about breeding like rabbits.
Yep.
Very good.
Pretty good.
And we also meet Kate in this section as well.
Played by Jenna Elfman.
Yeah, she's good in this.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her in too many other things.
I was going to say, she's big in TV, isn't she?
Maybe.
I don't know.
In this, she is.
She's big in the studio.
movies.
Well, she's made the Lethal Weapon Babies.
Lethal Weapon Babies. Finally, a lethal weapon I can take my grandchildren to.
It's so good.
So eventually, Daffy gives them an ultimatum and makes them choose. And of course,
Dharma
they
and
choose.
Greg. That's what I was thinking.
Ah, yes. Greg, get down from there. No, Dharma, you come up. You're such a free spirit. I believe nothing ever happened in that show. It was a very mundane show.
Fair.
So, because Daffy gives him the ultimatum, he basically gets fired. Please, brother, other brother. I'm too moist and tender to resist.
Not a bad Daffy there, Mr. Brown. There you go.
Oh, it wasn't great.
That's right.
Possible.
Well, I'm okay with the amount of. It wasn't too explosive of an impersonation. Otherwise, I might
He would have got spittle all over
I'll need
you.
a poncho. He gets fired, and then we meet our other lead human,
DJ.
DJ Drake, who played by the fantastic Brendan Fraser.
Incredible. So he's a half security guard, half stuntman. We'll say aspiring stuntman, but he's been in a few projects already.
He has, which we'll get to.
We'll get to that. But I love this scene where he's doing the stunt work, and to me, it reminded me of his performance in George of the Jungle.
Just like
The screams that he does.
Yeah, very expressive. I think that Brendan does a really, really good job throughout this film. I think in just selling. It's a silly movie, and he's being silly, and it's a good time.
Yeah.
His physical comedy is really good. So, but yeah, he has the option to, is like, could have got a job via his dad, who's Damien Drake. They have the poster behind as well, very convenient, who seems to be like a bit of a spy actor.
There's so much information on that poster. It's so good. So, first of all, Damien Drake is played by Timothy Dalton, who actually was a James Bond star, but the poster is Licensed to Spy. He was in Licensed to Kill. And I just love that it says winner of 3 Spy Awards. So even though these are movie awards, they have specific movie awards for being a spy, essentially.
Yep.
Great.
He's that good.
He's that good.
He's that good.
Well, he is an actual spy. Which we find out.
Spoilies. But yeah, we get introduced to this whole poster and the idea of job by one of our favourites, Slippery Dick.
Slippery Dick, he's back.
Dick Miller.
So I went back and double checked all the films we've had. So there was Looney Tunes back in action.
Yep.
The Burbs, The Terminator, and Gremlins.
Damn.
So a lot of Joe Dante picks in the mix there.
That's true.
But yeah, Slippery Dick. It was good to see him again. I'd missed him from last week.
DJ's having a chat with old Slippery Dick, and he sees, and this is at the same time that Kate's basically coming out of the office with Daffy and Bugs in tow.
And she basically asked DJ to remove Daffy from the lot. And they have a bit of that love-hate banter.
Yeah, she gets lost in his eyes for a little bit.
How could you not?
It's Brendan.
It's Brendan. But Daffy makes chase. And yes, there's a little bit of a running through the lot.
Yeah, this is good fun.
It is very good. Running into the picture, the airbag stunt is really cool.
Roger Corman, who's directing a Batman movie.
Yep.
I'd like that. I'd like a Roger Corman Batman movie. That would have been great.
Oh, I just love more Batman movies with the bat stereo.
True. And then, unfortunately, the Batmobile drives into the iconic water tower and makes it come crashing down all over Kate in her car. Mm-hmm. And Bugs is like, hey, look, I found Nemo. Oh, what do you know? I found Nemo. And DJ is also fired and unceremoniously gets his badges ripped off his uniform.
By Slippery Dick.
Your dad was to be so disappointed in you after he was trying to like uplift him.
Yeah, it's quite a turnaround.
15 minutes before that.
It's great. It's just the sort of comedy that it is.
Classic Dick Miller.
Then we get the restaurant scene.
Oh, man.
Some really quality gags here. First of all, it's a pain in the butt to be politically correct, and then Speedy Gonzalez, maybe the least politically correct character, comes in with the, you're telling me.
Yeah, after Porky Pig's, like, because obviously his stutter, that character, like Looney Tunes, Warner Brothers sort of got in trouble with, like, a little bit of that. So, very funny.
I love that they got in trouble, but then they're like, screw it, let's make a joke.
Let's make a joke about how we got in trouble. And then we get the very, very fun engagement between the cartoon Shaggy from Scooby-Doo insulting Matthew Lillard about his performance as Shaggy.
Yes, very insulted by the portrayal of him. And it's interesting too because Matthew Lillard then, post this film, eventually ended up taking over the animated role as well.
Yeah, so obviously they didn't mind him.
Oh, he's incredible.
He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Then we cut to sort of Kate having lunch with Bugs when Bugs is like sort of getting changed into like a women's stuff, and we've got the frog in the background. Hello, my baby.
It's also good too because again, Kate's bringing up all these things like, oh, you can't do that anymore. We don't have male characters dressing as female characters anymore. Just talking about like the change in times and how the Looney Tunes are just not keeping up with them, essentially.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I really enjoyed about this, the animation, Bugs is holding a real carrot in this scene, which just makes everything 10 times more complex. How are they animating this to have something that's not there picking up an item that is? So I really appreciate that. We did a lot of discussions of that when we talked about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because there's heaps of it in that. It only happens a couple of times in this. Usually when the animated characters are interacting, they're doing so with animated props.
Yep.
So it all comes in after the fact. But there's a couple of like things along the way in here where they've set something up so that they can marry the two together, which is awesome.
Looks brilliant.
But basically Bugs is wanting Daffy back.
Yeah.
He thinks it was a poor decision to fire him, but he's gone. He's stowed away with DJ.
He's stowed away with DJ, and Daffy works out that Damien Drake is his dad, and they live together.
Mocks him a little bit about this.
But then sort of changes his tune once he works out who his dad is. DJ's like, you're delusional ranting.
Yeah, because he basically thinks that he's a real spy, which of course he is.
Just spy, playing a super spy. This guy's a movie spy. And it's just like, okay, cool, thanks, Daffy. But yeah, it turns out Daffy was right.
Yeah.
He's a spy because...
he first tries to test it out with the invisible force field and just throws it right at his face.
The force field breaking apple.
Force field penetrating apple.
I apologize. But yeah, it turns out it was right. And then DJ's like, I need to answer my remote. Projector's sort of hidden away. And then it's old Timothy Dalton just on a video call. This is so fun. The way he's just fighting off all the goons while still on the call.
It's brilliant. So yeah, he basically tells him to come to Las Vegas, find Dusty Tails, and track down the Blue Monkey.
And then just casually like tosses the grenade off in the background and stuff like that. It's just so stupid.
It's really good.
Are you okay? Is this a bad time?
But it's perfect because Bond would totally do something like that.
100%.
I like even the idea of the Blue Monkey kind of being a parody of the Pink Panther diamond. It's just, there's so many references in this. I've mentioned a couple along the way that we'll get to, but it's so layered. There is no way you could find all of them every time you watch this.
Definitely one of those movies that will reward you for repeat viewings. That is for sure.
But speaking of a fun reference, they decide that they're going to drive there and they get in DJ's old pizza car. And the make of car is a gremlin. And the theme that plays is the Joe Dante Gremlins theme.
Love that.
It's awesome. I just was like, why are they playing Gremlins right now? And then I was like, oh wait, is that what the make of the car is? And I looked it up and that was in fact it. So
love that.
Yeah, very, very cool. It's the same make that comic book guy from The Simpsons drives. I recognize it from Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah, nice. References are out of control.
Oh, they are. Daffy suspects it might be a spy car, but as we find out just upon them leaving, the spy car is hidden under the garage.
Yes.
It pops out and it's pretty cool.
There's definitely like an Aston Martin sort of vibe to it.
Oh, yeah. When we get the Bond chord. Short back and blow you.
Twat. Anyway, we cut back to Bugs basically going it solo, and him and Elmer Fudd are struggling. Elmer Fudd's looking at his lines while filming the cartoon, and then Bugs is getting blasted. Then it cut to him in the seat. Oh pain, oh agony. He's struggling, and
so good.
And Kate is immediately fired.
Yes, by the Warner Brothers, they blame her, even though it was her idea.
And even though her movies have made millions and millions of dollars, it's not billions. And then it cuts to Bugs also having the same pose as the brothers in the audience.
Great. Very
good
good
stuff.
They decide they will hold off on firing her because they'll give her till Monday to try and get Daffy back. And then we get a little sequence in the car with DJ and Daffy, and DJ is defensively explaining to Daffy that he is in fact a stuntman.
Because who's he doing stunts for, Mr. Brown?
Did you see those Mummy movies? I'm in there more than Brendan Fraser is.
Oh, he couldn't stand doing his own stunts. Oh no, the Brandmaster does all his own stunts.
It's just awesome. Like, the Looney Tunes are taking the piss out of themselves, and I love that Brendan Fraser is doing the same thing.
Let me have a go at that. That's fine.
He does more than have a go.
He's really good.
Very, very good. Just him impersonating himself.
No, the Brandmaster.
No.
Yeah. Sounds like a character from like Airheads or something. This is great.
Yeah.
Bugs then calls Daffy, sort of breaks up this chat, but Daffy's moved on and say, hey, I'm on the spy caper, mentions the blue monkey, but he's overheard by Acme Surveillance. I like the theme that comes in to sort of introduce Acme.
Feels very Dr. Evil.
Very, and we've got the big security guard who's played by wrestler Bill Goldberg, or just Goldberg.
Oh, well, of course, I recognize
Obviously, massive wrestling superstar for WCW during the late 90s, and then was in WWE while he was shooting this film. So, you're next. That's what he would say.
Speaking of what's next, so we meet the cartoonish evil company, the Acme company, run by Steve Martin.
And what does a cartoonish villainish corporation need? An incredibly cartoonish villain. And
He's incredible in this. The choice of appearance. So he's got like a middle part of a red wig. He's got a suit that's just a little bit too small for him.
Bit cropped, yes.
Yeah.
And like his mannerisms glasses and stuff.
So he often puts his hands on his hips, but they're not really his hips. He puts it like super high on his body. I love it. Everything he's doing here is great.
When I saw it for the first time, you told me you hadn't watched it because I know how much you love Steve Martin. I was like, oh, you're going to have a great time with this.
It's incredible because like a lot of times when I was going through his catalog, I would just look up all the movies he was in, and this just never came on the radar. So
there you go.
Yeah, love it.
I love that they're talking about sort of like children in like sweatshops.
Oh my god!
Put doubles, especially when they're sipping cups.
We have not had 9-year-olds working in sweatshops making sneakers. Not when we can have 3-year-olds who work for so much less.
And just the way he just like will stop basically doing words to really sort of like articulate with his teeth. And then they cut to them interrogating Damian Drake.
Oh, when he tries to turn on the TV do it, and he's got all the remotes and he can't...
Which cable surveillance. But yeah, they're interrogating him. It's like, how's the interrogation going? And they're all getting like beaten up while he's still on the chair. And he's just about ready to crack boss, and he gets dragged back in. Comically far away as well. It's just great. And then
the maniacal laugh where he leans back and then almost falls over.
And then he's got someone taking minutes in the meeting.
Oh, the old VP of Bad Ideas.
And what is your name?
Mary.
Well, Mary, how would you like to do a little kissing later? And she's like taking it back. It's like, well, that's what they all say at first. And I'm just like, Steve Martin.
Oh my God.
The chairman.
Yeah,
whoa.
He's just risen her up. It works. Eventually it works. Also, I love after this when they all just start cheering Acme.
Acme. And then it's like, what about the bunny? Extra crispy.
Crispy.
Or the duck.
It has to be the duck.
Oh, yeah, because they're trying to get
wouldn't have
bugs.
a bunny extra crispy.
I mean,
that's a nonsense.
Crispy rabbit? I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan of eating rabbit regardless.
It's duck season. So Kate goes to DJ's to talk to Daffy and finds Bugs in the shower. My favorite moment from the whole film.
It's so good.
It is like a shot-for-shot Psycho sequence. The screams. I was in stitches.
Because it keeps cutting back to Kate's face being like,
what
you
the
okay?
Hell? Yeah. And
What is he screaming?
Oh, and then the chocolate syrup as well. So, no, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but in Psycho, because it was in black and white, trying to do like a red coloring into the water didn't show up as well, so they ended up using chocolate syrup. So the fact that he just pours like Hershey's
you can see it
chocolate,
branded, yeah. There's so much product placement in this film. It's great.
Amazing.
It's very, very good. But basically,
She's pretty distraught about the fact that she might get fired, and he says the line, I hate to see a grown man cry, especially when it's a girl.
A girl.
A girl.
A girl. So they decide to go on their own little road trip in the nice spy car. Do you know what time it is, Mr. Brown? It's time to move your feet, because that's what we hear, the nice little needle drop. Move Your Feet by Junior Senior. Was So Fresh, the hits of summer 2004.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute banger.
I love this part in the car where he just keeps pressing buttons, and she goes, if you touch one more thing, shh, I'm going to defy you.
Get nice new outfits. Bugs is singing along to Viva Las Vegas.
Great, yeah.
The carrot martini as well.
Brilliant. But yes, we're at the casino, and
I love the look of this. It looks so cool.
Oh, the idea to model the casino on Yosemite Sam is brilliant.
It makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
This should be like an era at Movie World.
I agree.
Hollywood on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, there's a couple of lackluster areas that they could do this for instead.
So you could do gambling at Movie World.
No, just go watch Dusty Tales do a very tasteful show.
Anyway, we do meet Dusty Tales.
Provocatively dancing with the mini Yosemite Sams.
Yep, one of those guys is actually played by one of the members of the Pirates of the Caribbean crew, like the shorter one. It's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been someone on their knees.
Or it would have been Brendan Fraser when he puts on the costume and stuff. But yeah, Sam's been worded up basically by Goldberg that he can have a lot of money, capture those guys, and don't let them get to Dusty and stop him.
So Dusty kind of gives a little bit of an explanation and then gives them the Mona Lisa playing card. But Sam and his crew come in after them, and the chase is on.
Yes, I love when DJ starts fighting the goons, and his punching is just hilarious.
Because he's punching no one. He does an incredible job in this, acting against nobody.
100%.
Just like he had to do in The Mummy.
Correct. He's just really, really good. Like some of the overselling of like the chops and the punches and stuff. It's just great.
If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor of looking at some of the Mummy behind the scenes videos of him fighting against no mummies, and then what it looks like in the end result with all the special effects.
He's that good.
He is that good.
The card goes flying off the balcony and crashes into, or it falls into basically a game of blackjack hosted by old Foghorn Leghorn.
Sir, I say, sir.
Will you hit or stay? And then hit me. And then eventually...
He hits him.
Yeah, he hits Sam, who's also joined the game. And DJ gets a card and escapes into the car, but it collapses. It reminded me of the loner in The Mask.
It's the exact note I wrote. They jump in a car, but it falls apart like the loner from The Mask.
On it.
Yeah. Kindred spirits. That's a good sign for mashups.
No, it's not.
Good gag here with a NASCAR driver valet parking his car, but Sam steals it, and fortunately, DJ runs into Kate, and the whole gang is back together.
We're never going to find that duck. Bang.
There they are.
And Daffy's there, and they're all together, and they drive up. Well, we're going to go smashing into a wall, but thankfully, Daffy's like, oh, mother! And then it activates part of the car, and it flies up.
Taking you to mother. And we get to see the picture of Whistler's mother, the painting.
Yeah.
It made me also write down Bean as a movie for Film Club.
Michael Bean.
But I could only think of, whenever I see that painting, I can only think of not Rowan Atkinson, but the other character in that when he first sees the painting after it's been destroyed. And he's like, oh, Jesus, oh, God, oh, no. It's the best reaction.
The guy from Ghostbusters too.
Yeah, exactly.
Ally McBeal.
He's incredible.
He is.
So off to Mother they go.
And they end up crashing in the desert.
Wow, they stop first because they must have run out of gas.
Yeah, it's like, that's not how this works. Smash.
Thanks, Toots.
Thanks, Toots.
Toots.
And then they're like, is it a mirage or is it just product placement? And it's
very, very good.
Walmart that's in the desert. So good.
Yeah, there's a lot of really quick, funny moments here. I love when they first wake up in the desert and she's like, I need you to move my 12 o'clock appointment up to 2 o'clock, then back to 11, then just cancel it.
Toots, you're not going on any appointments.
Nah. But they are going to Walmart. With such low prices, who cares?
And then obviously if they're in the desert in a Looney Tunes film, there's only a couple of characters you're really going to hang out with. And it's Wile E. Coyote, and who's in the middle of trying to catch the Roadrunner.
Yeah, so basically Acme kind of checked in with Yosemite Sam, who's speaking gibberish, and he goes, you know, that makes a lot of sense. But then there's the cage with Timothy Dalton in it.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Chairman, yes, Dad? What? It's so stupid. But yes, then they get their desert operative, Wile E. Coyote, to take them out. And it's really fun with him ordering from like the online Acme store.
And orders like right on top of him. Yeah.
And so he's setting that up just as they're coming out of Walmart. It was nice of them to provide those beverages in exchange for us saying their name so many times.
Very, very, very good.
But yeah, the missile that he orders, it keeps backfiring on him.
Doesn't sound like Wile E. Coyote.
Nah. On the side of the missile, it says hi there. It's like a reference to Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, of course.
Which is,
Nice.
yeah, a very nice little detail there. So DJ ends up walking into a hidden alien research facility in the desert.
It's not Area 51. It's Area,
Area
52. And it's run by Mother, who's played by Joan Cusack.
Really,
He's having
really
a
good.
great time in this.
She's kind of like Q because she makes gadgets and stuff, but also this facility is specifically looking at aliens. There's a lot of fun alien cameos in this as well.
Daleks, Triffids, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Robbie the Robot, Man from Planet X, and of course, Marvin the Martian.
So the Daleks themselves, apparently Steve Martin insisted on having them in there, and it ended up being quite a legal battle because they didn't have copyright for it.
I was about to say, I didn't know that Doctor Who was Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I really like the Invasion of the Body Snatchers references you mentioned because they actually get Kevin McCarthy from the
So
original
good.
to come in, and the fact that he's in black and white as he's
looks
holding the
great.
big pod, oh, amazing.
So good.
But they've been keeping things from people since 1942, and it's time to spill the secrets. She's kind of set up the facility so that she could provide some help to Dad and gives a little bit more details about the Blue Monkey.
We get a good little expo from Peter Graves, who's in Airplane. It does like a similar kind of like expo dump in Men in Black 2.
Yes, Peter Graves is also obviously known for being in the Mission Impossible franchise, so the fact that he's delivering a briefing like that is a very, very fun nod.
But yeah, we find out like the diamond is going to turn people into monkeys,
Yeah,
essentially.
a very ridiculous idea.
Monkey by name, monkey by nature.
That's it. So Steve Martin moves on once again, and this happens throughout the film. Basically, one operative fails, so he gets the next person in line. And I love these, like, don't blame the equipment. The equipment is good. It's Acme equipment. You're a coyote. Be wily. Basically, sends him on his way. Tells him to hit the locker rooms or hit the showers. And
Crashes into everything.
Literally everything. In the safe, the fireworks. Oh, and the plate glass window. But then he gets Marvin the Martian to step in and go after them next, because being a Martian, he's going to be in the alien facility.
He's pretty cool. Marvin's
pretty
probably my favorite Looney Tunes character, I think.
He's got like a Swedish chef style kind
Yeah.
of voice. Back in the facility, we get the weapons reveal, and it's a bit like the Matrix, where they're kind of coming in from the sides there. But those aren't his weapons.
Nope.
He gets a phone.
Wow.
Well, it's still pretty cool.
It is good.
Have you seen the movie I Spy? Owen Wilson? It reminded me of when he loves Carlos's equipment. No, I don't wish I could be like Carlos, but I can't help but notice my stuff looks like he got it from Radio Shack in 1932.
Good.
But the phone's pretty cool. It's got all the bells and whistles, nose hair trimmer, and you want to look your best.
You never know.
It's also got some cool gadgets that we see come into play later with like the grappling hook and stuff like that.
Yep.
But the aliens attack.
Yes, they've Marvin's freed them all, and it gets all pretty chaotic. They're going to fight their way out.
popcorn in the helmet's pretty fun.
That's good. That's real good. They have to battle their way out, and I mean they end up doing so, and then they're very quickly in Paris.
They do. Yeah, Bugs just takes them there with a quick scene transition.
Yeah, love that. Very convenient.
Oh, it's good for us too. We zip through it.
We're zipping through.
So DJ pulls a window panel off the back of the card and holds it to the Mona Lisa. I mean, the bra. That made me laugh a lot. But it's basically got a hidden map of Africa underneath it. And Elmer Fudd turns on them.
Highly enjoy all of this sort of sequence that Elmer is going after Bugs and Daffy.
Yep.
Goldberg comes and takes Kate, and so then DJ's after them. The Dali painting just looks
I think
fantastic.
that's my favorite one.
The animation looks
They laugh
fantastic.
at the gun going limp. And then, like, as they're running, they're really lethargic.
And they go into Munch's Scream as well, which looks pretty good.
So, I'm not an aficionado. Like, I knew all the artworks, but my understanding was a lot of them aren't all in the same location. They just do it for a bit of fun, right?
Yep.
Great.
One of them, like, all they get to was one of the ones from the Chicago Art Museum.
Oh, of course, because it's in Ferris Bueller. Yeah, the dot painting with the child.
That's the one I did, like, the recreation where I kept doing cuts between me and then bringing the camera closer to my face while I looked at the painting when I went to Chicago. So yeah.
Good.
No one knew what I was doing, but I did.
I would have known.
I know.
One of my faves. But yeah, the henchman, what'd you say his name was? Wrestle McGee? He takes the camera off Kate.
Wrestle McGee. It's Goldberg.
Like the goalie. Mighty Ducks.
Goldberg. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he takes Kate and tries to jump into a helicopter at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Yep.
She struggles with him, but then ends up falling, and DJ has to do the jump off after her. There's some fun moments here. Like, I love when he tries to rocket up to her and the pants just rocket off him.
Good stuff.
But he grabs her and uses his grappling hook and manages to swing too safely.
Safely?
Safety?
Yeah. D? I'm
Like
Burgundy.
it's a question.
Basically, they now need to go to Africa.
Acme gets the camera, but it's no good because Daffy was standing in front of the picture.
Pretty good. So they got to Steve Martin's basically like, remove the duck.
How do you like that, Mr. Slap yourself in your own face?
But we've got a new operative into the mix, and it's the Tassie Devil.
Mm-hmm.
And Ron Perlman's not really so enthused about
Why
it.
is Ron Perlman in this?
Why not?
And what is the voice that he's doing?
VP of Never Learning as well, which is
Very
pretty
good.
good because then he gets ripped to shreds and then he's just a skeleton left. He's like, I stand corrected. It's good. But yeah, they're off to Africa.
They are.
And now we've got Rick O'Connell in the movie because Brendan Fraser's in nice little like beige shirt, like pads. Yeah.
It's pretty good. So Granny turns up in Africa to help them.
And she's
but
sus.
There's something sinister about her, and all I could think was, lady, you're scaring us.
True.
But they find an old ruin and have to kind of solve a puzzle unveiling the blue monkey.
And it's glorious.
This is very Raiders, this section. We get darts, we get a big boulder falling down.
Yep.
Really, really good. But it's a nice triumphant moment for DJ, and then he immediately turns himself into a monkey.
He does. Almost immediately. And, well, it's a problem.
Well, yeah, it is
Because
a problem.
then Granny rocks up and whips off the mask, turns into Mr. Chairman.
It's not even a mask, just unzips the whole body.
It's like, I can't get it over the hat. And then it's Damien Drake.
It is, and we get
Then
a
we do
nice
like
little
a
Empire
style, yeah.
reference.
It's really good.
Look into your heart, you know it's true.
So good.
Then zips it off, and it's Michael Jordan. Obviously, the Space Jam reference.
And then back to
the chairman.
I'm like, that was,
Who's laughing now? Apparently no one.
what was the point of all that? But he does transport the team back to Acme.
Sure does.
It reveals the fact that Damien Drake is actually not him, but he's tied to a train track. Train track for Jack Black.
So this is the remote that works.
Yeah.
Train of Death.
Yeah, the train of death.
TNT and an anvil.
Yeah, and the pendulum of doom, man. The pendulum of doom. I didn't order the pendulum of doom. That's overkill.
Very good. He's so outraged by it. So DJ has to hand over the blue monkey, but the chairman still leaves his dad in that dangerous situation. And Bugs and Daffy have to go after Marvin the Martian, who's trying to put the blue monkey on the Acme satellite.
Yep.
He not only flirts with Mary, but he flirts with Kate. And he goes, oh, I've seen you notice me. I know I'm hot. I'd prefer Mary. We're a cute couple, don't you think? Bizarre.
Very bizarre.
There's a lot of bizarre relationships in this. What about when old Goldberg unzips and he's a female Tassie Devil? What's with that little romance?
No idea.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, I love the fact that when they're chasing after Marvin in the ship, Bugs gets the map out and like is showing he's confused to Marvin and gets Marvin to roll down his
the
window. He gets sucked out of the ship.
Very, very good.
Brilliant. But Marvin doesn't go too far away. And they sort of get into a little bit of a fight on the satellite. Love all the Star Wars references. It's really good.
Yeah.
And Daffy goes Duck Dodger mode as well to get into action, which I do enjoy that.
It takes him a little while because every
does.
time he tries to announce it, it doesn't quite work out. He keeps
blowing his lines.
Just like me.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got the robot dog. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the robot dog's there. Is that a Looney Tunes character?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. Maybe Warner Brothers came out with their own line of robo dogs that they were trying to sell. So yeah, DJ ties up the dog after a bit of acrobatics and manages to save his dad just in time. I do like that Daffy clogs the satellite.
With his bill.
With his own bill, yeah. Blows it up, but it still fires one beam down.
And who does it hit?
Are you all monkeys yet? Hits the CEO of Acme.
The chairman.
Chairman.
And Stevie Martin's got nice little glasses as a monkey.
He's pretty cute as the monkey. And then Daffy and Bugs come crashing back in, and they achieve the goal of Daffy being a hero.
They've done it. They've done it.
They've done it. But they did not achieve the goal of Daffy being in Bugs' film. Or have they? It was the movie the whole time. What a twist.
What a twist. And we get double Brendan as well.
We do.
Which is good.
Brendan on Brendan. Punches him right in the face. And how, like, pompous he's playing the other version of himself.
Yeah. And, like, the fact that he can't sell the stunt or anything like that. That's just great. It's really, really good. And that's the movie.
That is the movie. We tend to race through lighter movies like this, but I know how much you love this. I thought you'd be, like, mentioning every reference. It's been a long week for you, mate.
It's the last week of term.
Yeah, fair. Totally fair.
That takes nothing away from my enjoyment of this film, despite the fact that we might be in the minority because the film didn't really do very well. Poorly received both critically and commercially, didn't do super, super well. And a lot of that sort of lack of success forced WB to pull a lot of new Looney Tunes projects that they were developing and that actually developed. They were ready to basically push stuff out and they were like, oh, well, the movie hasn't done well. And this was kind of like, not the end of Looney Tunes, but certainly like if we think about sort of when we were younger, how much Looney Tunes was in the zeitgeist. It's not really the case anymore.
Well, fortunately, they've made a big resurgence with Space Jam 2.
I mean, to be fair though, there is, I think, still like a really good passion for Looney Tunes projects that are coming out. The Day the Earth Blew Up is not long released. I think it got a little bit of a limited theatrical release, like this kind of sci-fi movie with Daffy in a leading role and Porky Pig as well, which is fantastic. And then there's obviously like the film that is not got released, directed by Dave Green, that's got Will Forte in it, and it's Coyote versus Acme as like a legal drama sort of thing.
That's pretty fun.
They made that film, and then WB basically canned it. But I think it's just sort of in the last couple of days, apparently something that might be getting picked up by a studio and being put out for release.
That'd be cool.
And apparently it's supposed to be like, from what screen tests and stuff like that, apparently it's supposed to be quite good. So
I don't know why they canned it then.
I don't know. Warner Brothers have done some weird stuff in the last few years, like Batgirl, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So a film I would love to see with Brendan Fraser as well. So
yeah, true.
But yeah, I mean, like I like a bit of Looney Tunes, and this film's great fun. And as we've sort of said, if you watch it multiple times, you're always going to get some more stuff out of it.
Absolutely. Alrighty, let us move on to Tantalising Trailers.
Trailers. Tantalizing films. Trailers. Don't know if we will be a fan. How will it be? We'll know in time.
Cool. First one I want to talk about today is a film called Together. Did you end up watching it?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so Alison Brie, Dave Franco film.
I know about the film though. Yeah.
It looks like it's going to have some body horror elements. They're in a couple together, but there's like a lot of closeness, both in physical proximity, but also like they just seem to be doing everything together. And it almost has the vibe like that they're going to all meld together and become like one being.
Like amalgamation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really cool. Like a good trailer if you are someone who doesn't want too much information.
Good.
It gives you enough to kind of be like, ooh, I wonder what's happening here, and really intrigue you without it giving anything away. So I'm pretty excited for that, and I really like them both. They're really good, Alison Brie and Dave Franco.
Yeah, agreed. I'm keen for that film. That looks good. Keeping things on the spooky path. After a really cool teaser trailer, which was basically a scene from the movie, we've got a full sort of first trailer of Final Destination Bloodlines. And it's looking pretty good. Tony Todd is in there at the end, looking pretty great. Bearded Tony Todd, looking fantastic. It's interesting, yeah, I'm keen to sort of see where this film goes. Obviously, there's sort of sibling relationships. It looks like they're maybe sort of going through maybe like the origin of like how this started, which I'm intrigued about.
An ancestor of the main family seems to have had a big long-running curse with this. I think it's interesting that the initial accident or incident, if you will, is going to be like a family backyard barbecue.
Yeah.
That's something very different. It's not a big popular event.
No, it's like sort of a bit more enclosed and stuff, and that's interesting.
One other thing that I found really interesting in this trailer is that the character in the teaser trailer that we literally see die, the tattooist, he seems to obviously be involved in this initial incident, but it looks like that he might be involved in getting hit by a car as well.
The one that's at the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it just misses him. I think that might be a little fake out.
And this is the thing, like, if there can be some fake outs and there can be multiple incidents that people are predicting, even though we do see some things happen in this trailer, we don't necessarily know what that means for the overall picture of it. So yeah, I was saying to you when that first teaser came out, I was like, oh man, they've at least given away one of the deaths.
But maybe
well, you never know. They might prevent that.
One of the ones I thought that was particularly quite dicey was like the broken glass in the ice.
Oh yeah.
It was like, yeah, no, that's not good. That's not good. But yeah, I'm keen for this. I'm keen to get back in the Final Destination universe. It's been a few years between drinks, so I'm keen to I'm keen for this film, particularly because it would be Tony Todd's last big film, and I'm glad he can come back to this character one more time. So.
Nice. Speaking of universes that I always love jumping back into, Alien Earth. So it's a teaser trailer, but it's all set in that little pod where they talk to Mother.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just an android talking, saying that there's been an attack and that no one has survived. But while they're saying that, there are people outside the door begging to get in, and they're just ignoring him. Really cool.
Very
really,
creepy stuff.
Cool. So yeah, again, teasers are the best because they get you really excited about it without giving too much away. So I'm pretty excited. At this point, anything Alien, I'm gonna get around.
100%. Next one for me is One Battle After Another. Paul Thomas Anderson's new film, starring Leo DiCaprio. You got Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, Tiana Taylor. And it kind of looks like it's sort of like Leo was like a soldier or like a revolutionary, and he's got to get his old team back together, essentially.
Nice.
And just, I don't know, like the tone of the film looks fun. Like it's got a bit of action, black comedy sort of vibes. And yeah, I just like the look of it. And I think I'm enjoying sort of a lot of the things that Leo DiCaprio has been doing with his film career, like in the last sort of 6-7 years. And this looks like something that he's having a bit of fun with. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, cool. Interestingly, all three of my next ones are based on a true story.
Oh, there you go.
So the next one is The Luckiest Man in America, Paul Walter Hauser and Walton Goggins. True story about a person who went on a game show called Press Your Luck and then manipulated it or rigged it. I'm deliberately not looking into the true story because I want to see it unfold in the film. But yeah, you can see like everyone who's working on the game show is trying to stop him from being able to win as much as he is, but he just keeps kind of defying the odds. Really cool. Like I love these two in terms of cast members.
Same.
A couple of other familiar faces in the mix as well, but I'm really intrigued by the storyline, and the fact that it's also a true story is all the more interesting.
Very nice. And we did get a few announcements today. I was just talking about before we started recording that we're getting some release dates for some Spider-Men. Tom Holland will be back in the mix, I think it looks like next year, in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm very excited for what this new chapter of Spider-Man looks like. Mm-hmm. I would like it to not be as connected with the rest of the MCU as other stuff has been.
Yep.
But we'll kind of see what happens. If things are going to be a bit more street level, I'm pretty intrigued to sort of see how Peter Parker goes without anybody really knowing him. So
I hope so, but I wouldn't hold my breath on it being like that. That's fine.
And someone talked about the fact that it's going to be really tied in with Avengers Doomsday. I'm like,
I've heard rumors Sadie Sink is in the mix.
Casting, so
maybe Sadie Sink.
Maybe use Gwen Stacy. I'm not sure.
Possibly,
that would be the vibe.
I know lots of people are campaigning for it to be a real Mary Jane.
What? Because she's got red hair?
No, I just mean because
they don't like
the MJ.
Zendaya's.
Well, it stands for Michelle something.
Yeah. So it could be. We could get
Michelle
real
Jenkins.
Michelle Jenkins.
I genuinely can't remember what her.
Who knows? Also, as well, we're finally getting a Spider-Verse sequel.
Woo!
In 2027.
Oh.
That film was supposed to come out last year, so it's been quite a while since Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, it needs a revisit, I reckon.
Yeah, I have to go back into things because I've only seen it the once. Really enjoyed the sequel, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to need a refresher with what's going on with Spot and everything like that. So, yeah.
Just watch our pod on it.
Well, we haven't done it.
We have.
The sequel?
Yeah.
Have we?
It was our first video pod.
Ah. I don't think I was doing film discussion for that, so there you go.
Yeah.
That's why I can't remember it, Mr. Brown. Outside of release dates, we got a big casting announcement live stream for Marvel. That was a 5.5-hour live stream. And did I get up to watch it? No. But I caught the highlights of it later.
I was underwhelmed by this announcement.
There's a couple of interesting names in there. But obviously, Chris Hemsworth's back, Tom Hiddleston, Anthony Mackie, Paul Rudd, Letitia Wright, Simu Liu. I'm really happy Shang-Chi's coming back. I really enjoy that first Shang-Chi film. I want more with that character a lot. Danny Ramirez is coming back, who's playing Falcon in the new Captain America. Winston Duke, Sebastian Stan, Florence Pugh Pugh, Wyatt Russell, David Harbour, Hannah Joan Kamen, Lewis Pullman, and then things get a little bit more interesting. So obviously Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are coming back as Charles Xavier and Magneto, which is really cool. James Marsden coming back as Cyclops is a big one.
Yep.
Rebecca Romijn as Mystique, and then Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler was a big surprise. I'm not sure.
That is a real surprise, yeah.
Like, I really love his portrayal in X2, and it's been a shame they haven't been able to go back to that character. Obviously, Cody Smith McPhee played him in like the newer films, but he's brilliant in X2, Alan Cumming, so I'm glad that character's coming back.
Agreed.
Kelsey Grammer and Channing Tatum as well, full Fantastic Four. Tenoch Huerta coming back as Namor, which is cool as well. So yeah, and then obviously the casting announcement finishes with RDJ coming on screen and telling the audience to shush because we're so loud. I'm interested to see how like Doomsday is going to go because it feels like they're throwing so many actors and names at it in a very much feels like Marvel in panic mode at the moment, and I'm just hoping they can right the ship. They need some wins. I'm excited for Thunderbolts coming out soon, but after the underwhelming lack of success for Captain America: Brave New World or New World Order, whatever it's called, I'm tentative.
Yeah. I'm just not getting my hopes up.
That's fair.
My next one is Your Friends and Neighbors. It is, again, another true story, as I said, with John Hamm. Basically just a narrative that we're pretty familiar with, a person who loses everything and then goes down a dark path. So for him, in particular, he turns to a life of crime.
Looks good.
And, yeah, basically breaks into a bunch of his friends and neighbors' houses and just steals their stuff because they're not going to notice. It's a bit bling ring, hey?
It is a bit bling ring.
It also reminds me a little bit of, like, Fun with Dick and Jane kind of quality to it. But John Hamm, like, in this film that's obviously going to have some pretty dramatic moments, but is clearly a comedy film, it's just always good to have him at the forefront of that.
Yes, suits that role very well.
And my last one is called Good American Family. This is a limited series based on a true story, once again, but it's basically Orphan. You know the film Orphan? It's a true story of that.
Ooh.
So in the trailer, it releases this, so I don't think this is any sort of big reveal, but they basically adopt someone, and then it turns out that it's someone with, like, dwarfism as opposed to an actual child. And it's like, what are your sinister motives for wanting to be involved in this family? And it looks really creepy. Again, another one I don't want to look at the real story of until afterwards, because it could spoil some of the suspense.
Fair. That sounds good. I'm keen. I'll have to go watch that as soon as I get home. Before that, we're going to do some mashups, Mr. Brown.
Let's do it.
They did the mash. They did the movie mash. The movie mash. It's like a plot theme smash. They did the mash. It might turn out trash. They did the mash. They did the movie mash.
We will take it in turns to read out pitches for existing movies with a slight twist based on the theme of the week. The goal is to guess the new movie mashup title, which should be a play on words. Because we watched Looney Tunes back in action this week, our theme for today is Looney Tunes characters. For example, if I was describing the film about an aspiring star who moves to New York to chase her dreams and the Roadrunner, but instead finds a job dancing on bars, you might say the film was called Wile E. Coyote Ugly.
Nice one. Nothing ugly about that mashup.
Shall we jump in? I've
do it.
lined up Won't Get Fooled Again, because I know you get a little bit sick of Punbelievable coming back all the time.
No! That's what I say. All right, my first one. This epic romantic biblical drama, a strong varmint who sports some very iconic long red hair and also features a love for a woman who seduces him and betrays him to the Philistines.
I've got the character and a biblical drama.
That got remade into a 2009 remake which was set in rural Alice Springs.
Oh, I don't know.
You haven't seen that movie
at all.
Oh,
no.
okay. Worth a watch, but
What's the name of the movie?
Samson and Delilah.
Yosemite Samson and Delilah.
He's got it!
Woo!
Okay, that's my trickiest one, I think, so I'll get that out of the way.
Beautiful. Alrighty. So, in this sequel to a film about an unusual farmyard animal that herds sheep, the little guy is heading to the metropolitan landscape to free a bunch of animals that have been impounded at a pet-friendly hotel, folks.
Is it Babe Porky Pig in the City?
He's done it!
Woo! Oh, which one do I go? I'll go this one next. I said, in this recent horror film set in the 1990s, an FBI agent is tasked with tracking down a serial killer with foggy white hair who has been killing multiple families in Oregon.
Serial killer with white hair. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Hang on. The Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
And Foghorn Long Legs Horn.
He's got it! I would have been fine with long legs horn as well. That's fine.
Nah,
Full flog. Full flog.
I know you like it when it's a bit wordier. Oh, brilliant. That was good. That was very good. All right. In a dystopian desert-like LA setting, an ex-policeman has become a special agent tasked with terminating a group of violent androids. As he gets deeper into the case, he begins to question his own identity as he realizes the androids are more than just a series of beep beeps.
Is it Blade Road Runner?
He's done it!
What a roll. Woo! Oh, you know, Sammy Samson Delilah's in the past.
Yeah, I like that you're doing voices for so many.
On a
of these.
mysterious island, a group of scientists are brought along to see an amazing new theme park inhabited by prehistoric beasts. Things go from the frying pan into the fire, however, when the creatures are let loose and they have to turn their stuttering into purposeful action if they are to live.
Is it Jurassic Pork?
He's got it!
Woo! That's good. Jurassic Pork. I love that. All right. After a failed bust, two cops are forced to join a special unit, taking advantage of their youthful appearance and going undercover at a high school for a major drug bust. There, they report back on what they tore and eventually lock the dealers up in a cage.
So 21 Jump Street.
They report back on what they tore.
Oh. 21 Jump Street?
He's done it!
Nice. Nice one. In this cinematic tale of a classic musical set in the French Revolution, a criminal has his mice come home to roost as the loaf of bread he stole has an inspector catch up with him in the midst of a speedy and swift resolution and multiple romances happening around him.
All right.
So you know what the musical is?
Yes.
Okay.
Just give me a sec. No, I got it both. I got both. Just let me put it together. Okay. Is it Les Mis Gonzalez?
No.
Oh, no.
Speedy Gonzales Miserables.
Because it's
I'll play it.
Because Les Miserables, I thought it's Les Mis Gonzalez. Speedy Gonzales Miserables. Woo.
Solid, hey?
Yeah. Woo! Alrighty. A widower hires a nursemaid who owns a bird and cat to care for his 7 rambunctious children who have chased away all the previous applicants. She uses mystical powers to instill discipline. As the children learn and grow, her appearance changes, reflecting the beauty of their changing personalities.
It is Granny McPhee.
He's done it!
Firing through.
I was confident with these ones today. I'm feeling good.
Set in a smelly, isolated underwater facility, the film follows a team of scientists and a lovely parrot as they research mako sharks to fight Alzheimer's disease. Unfortunately, chaos ensues as the sharks start skunking up the place and claiming lives.
I'm trying to remember who that character is. Oh, no. Okay, hang on. I was going to go with Deep Blue Pepe Le Pew. Or were you going with Deep Pew C?
He's got it!
It's hard when there's 2 bits of the name that rhyme with 2 bits of the... Oh, my goodness.
Deep Pew
Deep
C.
Pew C. Good. Oh my goodness. A professor becomes infatuated with his landlady's daughter, drawn in by her prominent hip movements. He becomes obsessed, going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole as he marries the landlady in order to get closer to her daughter. Still, she keeps him at an arm's length, saying, "Don't ever call me doll."
I'm not sure about the movie.
It is a Stanley Kubrick film. Controversial in nature since he marries someone to get closer to her daughter.
Really, the movie is...
James Mason film? Oh, there's a very famous story, so I'll have to tell you what the movie is, but it's Lolita.
Oh. Could Lola Bunny Lita?
Just Lolita Bunny is
Lolita
fine.
Bunny? Lolita Bunny!
Yes! She's done it!
Okay. I'm going to have to watch that one. There we go. All right, my last mashup for you, Mr. Brown, is my best one.
Ooh, okay.
In this crazy found footage film, we join a twisting and turning episode of late night TV. As a late night host, foaming at the mouth for rating success, turns to an interview with a demonic being in the pursuit of a win.
Late Night with the Tassie Devil!
He's done it! Happy and easy.
All right, my final one. A bunch of kids are hunted down and killed in their dreams to atone for the sins of their parents. The killer sports a bladed glove and brown hunting hat as he stalks his prey, and the kids must all be very, very quiet to elude him.
It is Nightmare on Elmer Fudd Street or Elmer Street.
Elmer Street will do.
That'll
He's
do
done it! That was our best for a while there, mate.
We were cooking.
We should mention we've got a film club this Friday, but we probably will not record that podcast either until very late holidays or the first week back of next term.
Yes.
So this is our last pod for a couple of weeks, but it's been an absolute pleasure.
What a first term, Mr. Brown. What a first term.
My goodness, it was nice. We only did 2 video pods. I like that.
Love that.
Love it. But as always, guys, please do remember to like, subscribe, share it around. Make sure you're commenting with ideas for future films or other segmontes, if you will,
Absolutely.
that you want us to do. And on that note, that's all, folks. Thanks, everyone, and catch you at the next film club.